Okay with it, man. The junk food champ of the world is here. I'm a prelim fighter too. The junk food prelim fighter of the world.
Has it been hard to, all this talk about junk food and stuff as you're cutting weight and getting ready, has that been tough to have that be a central theme of the fight?
It's definitely annoying when people are like sending me Reese's stuff all over my Twitter and stuff, but I did it to myself, so I really can't talk shit.
Nice. Obviously, it's been kind of a fun build-up, right? But this kid has got some skills, right? He's dangerous. So what do you think about, kind of what he's accomplished and what he brings to the table?
He's a beast, dude. You're not gonna find me, or you're not gonna hear me saying anything negative about Adrian's technique or the way he fights or anything like that. I'm a fan of him. I was watching this contender fight. I was a fan. During his last fight, I was watching. I was talking to my girlfriend. I was telling her, like, hey, this kid's fucking fun. He's nasty. He looks exactly like Masvidal. What's going on? I'm just excited to mix it up with him, dude. It's gonna be a fun fight. I have a ton of respect for him. I know how good he is, and I'm sure he knows how good I am. It's gonna be a fun fight, dude. It's gonna be a really, really exciting fight.
On paper, it looks like that, right? Like, I don't see how it could. I do wonder, is there any danger of, like, you guys being too friendly? Those fights where guys are going and they're high-fiving in between exchanges and, hugging before the start of rounds and stuff?
I'll fight my grandmother right now. Does that answer your question?
It does. Talk about, the attention that it has brought. Has it been kind of fun? How much attention it has brought? Because as you said, you're on the prelims, but a lot of people are talking about this fight.
Yeah, I don't care about the whole prelim. I was just joking about that. This whole thing is so much fun. I haven't had a fight where it's getting as much attention as it is on social media. This is really cool, man. I'm really enjoying it. I think that we're both complimenting each other and the kind of the personalities that we're bringing, and we're both growing our stocks, and we get to settle everything on Saturday night and mix it up. The whole build up has been so much fun, and I'm almost happy that we weren't able to fight in Texas, just because that gave us another 8 weeks of just promoting candy and soda. It's so cool.
Is there a lesson that you can take out of that? Or do you think it's just kind of a unique, pairing that this came together? Because, you think obviously promoting is a huge part of this, right? But, we've seen some promotions lately where it's very dark, and this isn't. So is there a lesson that you can take out of it or other people can take out of it?
I think with the way that Adrian and I have handled this whole thing, I think it kind of shows that you can get people super hyped up for a fist fight, but neither side is talking shit about either side. His fans or whatever aren't talking shit to my. Everybody is just cordial and everybody's just arguing over fucking junk food. It's so cool, and I think I'm happy to be in the driver's seat for it, because I'm a firm believer that this whole sport was built on respect, and it needs to stay respectful. You're seeing it far too often where guys are stepping outside of that line and talking shit about family and religion and pushing each other. It's all stupid. We're gonna fight anyway. I don't care if I'm mad at you or if I'm happy with you. We're gonna fight on Saturday night. That's what we're here to do. Let's make this funny. Let's try to bring some positivity to it. Let's bring some positive light to the sport. Yeah, dude, all my fights I'm gonna build up with positivity. You're not gonna hear me talking shit about anybody.
That's awesome. Paper, it looks like it's a fight of the night type fight. Is that what you're expecting?
I want 50 grand, dude. I want that. Dude, John, it doesn't suck going home with an extra $50,000, right? That wouldn't suck. So I'm here to get $50,000.
I have never gone home with an extra $50,000, but I'm sure it's great. So you kind of willed this one together. My last question for you, kind of willed this one together. Do you already have visions of what comes after this and what you get with the win?
No, I think a lot of guys focus too much on what's next instead of focus on what's in front of you. I can't look at Adrian as a stepping stone. Adrian can sleep me next week or on Saturday. I could sleep him. There's so many different independent variables that I just don't have control over, and it does me no good. What if I go out there and get hurt and I'm out for a year? Then what were all the call-outs for? For nothing? You know what I mean? So it just doesn't make sense. I have one job. My job is to fight on Saturday night and then eat a fuckload of Reese's, and then we'll worry about who we're fighting next.
You mentioned something funny when you came and sat down, that you were on the prelims. And I wondered if maybe there's a bit of an issue with that, because on paper this is one of the best fights. Dude, I'm pretty hyped for this fight, so I'm a bit surprised it's on the prelims. How do you feel about it being on the prelims?
It doesn't really matter at all to me. I'm gonna, we're all in this sport because finances, right? I'm gonna get paid the same whether I'm fighting the third from the top or whether I'm fighting first for the night. It really doesn't make a difference. The prelims are on big ESPN, so it's going to be played in places too. It doesn't really matter. If you want to put me fourth fight of the night, sick. I'm going to bang out that fight and then go straight to Sapphire, right?
It's a good Good choice of venue. Is this one of those fights we're going to see a bunch of times, you think, going forward? You two are on the way up. You think you're going to see this now when you're champion level? And then after
Dude,
that?
maybe. I mean, everybody, when we're putting this fight together, or when they were putting this fight together, there were two different sides. It was like, yeah, let's have them fight, and then it was like, no, let's keep building them up. This is one of those situations that it could end up being a Dustin Poirier versus Conor situation, where Conor was kind of the rising guy. Dustin had already been a little bit more established, but he was also the rising guy, and it kind of made for what it is now, the biggest pay-per-views ever. So it could be the start of something big, or it could be the start of something really bad. But I guess we're going to find out on Saturday.
You mentioned he looks like Masvidal. If you could look like any other fighter, who would it be?
Alan Jouban, probably, right? Another handsome guy. He's a model and stuff, right? Yeah, probably want to look like Jouban.
It's a solid answer, and it was much quicker than I anticipated.
Yeah. I haven't been thinking about it. All this Sapphire talk has got me.
I think if you're going to Sapphire, you won't find Alan Jouban. Yeah. Maybe some other stuff.
Hey, Randy. Talk about the move to Sanford. Why the move, and
It just made sense, man. Those guys are awesome there. All those from the coaches to the athletes there to the facility, man. Everything is just top notch. You feel like you're a part of a family there. You don't feel like you're going to like a fighter's mill, if you will, like a factory just kind of producing guys. You actually feel like, people kind of care about you. I have a really good relationship with the coaches there. I have a really good relationship with the fighters there. I went there and I went there to tour the gym, and like a lot of the like Robbie Lawler came up and, hey, I'm Robbie Lawler, nice to meet you. Like, hey, that's fucking cool, man. You know what I mean? Like it was just really cool to like see the guys that like I really look up to and that are like, yeah, guys that are like almost role models in the sport coming up and like just being super humble. And I really like it over there, man. I'm going to be there for a while.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you plan on staying there?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there for a while, and I'm not moving back to up north, man. The beach is too cold up north, so I'm gonna stay down south.
You've never been to a third round going back to your Ami days. Are you ready to go 3 rounds? If so,
I mean, yeah, man. Everybody's so quick that like, oh, he can only do this, he can only do that. He's just a pretty like sick. Like it doesn't really matter. I know the work that I've done. Yeah, I mean, if I like having the role of a unicorn. You're still not really sure like what I'm capable of, what I can do, or there's still a lot of like what ifs. Like what is his capability? I like to keep it that way. We want to have as minimal footage as possible, and I think I'm doing that.
Do you see it going 3 rounds, or do you see one of you guys going to sleep?
One of us is either snoozing or we're both going to be hurting after 15 minutes.
Thank you.
2 quick questions, actually. Have you added to the Harambe tattoo?
I have not added to the Harambe tattoo, but I did sleeve up my arm with some more craziness, and it's pretty cool.
I appreciate that. And then what sort of money would you expect to spend on an evening in Sapphires?
I mean, you're kind of putting me on the spot. My girlfriend's sitting over there.
Well, I wondered that. Like, why did you bring it up when she stood there? I was kind of surprised.
I can look, but I can't be talking about the finances, about how much I'm spending there. It gets...
You shouldn't have told her the bonuses are 50 grand. You said they're only 25.
Okay, just give me a $5,000 bonus this time.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.